Are you vacationing in Hampton Roads this summer? Or are you a Hampton Roads resident looking for the perfect vacation? Then look no farther than Portsmouth, particularly historic Old Town Portsmouth. Want to know what's happening here this July? Stay tuned, and we'll tell you right here and right now on this episode of Portsmouth Now. Welcome to this July 2024 episode of Portsmouth Now. I'm your host, Rob Lauer. A shaggin' 4th of July celebration. Outdoor concerts every Thursday evening. These are just a few of the events being sponsored by the Portsmouth Department of Parks and Recreations. Here's Mark Polomarchuk to tell us more. Mark, welcome back to Portsmouth Now.
Thanks for having me, Rob.
So what's taking place in Portsmouth this July?
Well, we actually kick off right at the start of July. On July 3rd, we have our weekly Sunset Thursday concert series at Festival Park from 6:30 to 9. And we have a new band for us, at least for Sunset Thursdays, called the Feenies, which are a very popular local band. So we're hoping that'll draw some new crowds out and get some fresh blood in there.
Great.
And then right after that, of course, is July 4th. So we do our Shaggin' 4th of July event, which shag dancing is paying homage to Bill Deal and the Rondells. Shag music got its roots here in Portsmouth.
Yep.
So we'll be doing that at High Street Landing starting at 5 o'clock, and it will go until 8. Now at 8, we have the Tidewater Concert Band coming on to play some patriotic music, and they'll continue playing through the fireworks, which begin at 9:30.
Okay, fantastic.
Yes.
So now Sunset Thursdays, that's happening also throughout the entire month of July?
It is, and most of August as well. But yes, we'll have every Thursday in July except for July 24th because there's a concert over at the Portsmouth Pavilion.
Okay.
And there's concerts and movies throughout July as well over at the Pavilion if people want to check those out.
Okay, and as far as parks go, is there anything particular happening in the parks in July, or just what's available there?
Yeah, July is a very good time to visit the parks. Specifically, I would recommend Paradise Creek Nature Park or Hoffler Creek Wildlife Preserve. There's a lot of nature-inspired activities going on during the week and on the weekends. Kayaking, yoga, meditation, things of that nature. Plus just enjoying nature itself, bird watching, identifying trees and native species. So there's a lot of different things going on that are educational and fun.
Now, where is Paradise Creek located for those who don't know?
So Paradise Creek Nature Park is on Victory Boulevard, 1101 Victory Boulevard, which is in the heart of an industrial section of the city. So as you're going down,
it's so unique.
It is. You're going down Victory, then all of a sudden you see this nice, beautiful oasis right near all the industry, and you get in there, and you would never know that the industry is around you. It's nice, peaceful, serene park.
Okay, and Hoffler Creek is located where?
That's in the Churchland area of the city, on Twin Pines Road. So if you take that road all the way down, almost like you're going to turn around and come back into Churchland the other way, you'll see it.
And that's surprising too. Suburb, and all of a sudden there's a gate, and there's this beautiful, reserve there.
It is, and tons of miles of walking, trails and paths. So again, if you enjoy being outdoors, July is a great month to be outdoors in Portsmouth.
And of course, City Park as well.
City Park is our flagship park. That is always popular. Whether it's picnic reservations through our picnic shelters, just coming out and enjoying the playgrounds, the other amenities and events that we have going on out there. It's just a great location for families.
If people were interested in getting a site for a picnic, family event or something like that, what do they do? Do they contact you?
Two ways. They can contact us by calling the main number at 757-393-8481, and we can get them reserved that way. Or they can do it themselves online. If they go to portsmouthparks.com, all of our reservations are on there.
All right, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for stopping by and telling us what's in store this summer.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Rob.
Festival Park isn't the only place you'll find musical concerts this summer. Rick Ribbons joins us next to tell us about the wonderful Wednesday concert series at the Jewish Museum and Cultural Center here in Old Town. Rick, welcome back to Portsmouth Now.
Thanks, Rob. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Now, during the summer, there's a lot of music happening in Old Town. On the first Friday of every month, there's a concert in the courtyard down at the Portsmouth Art and Cultural Center. There's Sunset Thursdays every Thursday. And of course, a lot of the restaurants and eateries have live music throughout the week. But there's also something happening on certain Wednesdays this summer. And you're here to tell us about that.
I am. I'm here from the Jewish Museum and Cultural Center, which is on Effingham Street at the perimeter of Old Town. And our concert series is called Wonderful Wednesdays. It begins at the end of July, on July 30th, which is a Wednesday, and continues for 4 Wednesdays in a row. So our first concert is a classical pianist who also plays modern music. She comes to us from Northern Virginia. Her name is Francesca Hurst, and she speaks both Italian and English. So we will be hearing from her because she will be explaining what she's performing and why she's performing it, including poems that relate to the music. So the poems are haiku, Japanese poems, and each piece of music relates to one of the poems. So that's just an example of her concert. Next up is a group called Trio Niche. Trio Niche, niche means a small slice. And this group performs only music from 1780 to 1820, which is the time of Jane Austen in England and Thomas Jefferson in our country. So this music will be performed on period instruments, including a pianoforte, which this group likes to use, and it will include a violinist, a viol da gamba, and obviously a pianist. The third concert of our series is jazz, and it is headed up by Jay Sinnott, who is a well-known local announcer on WHRV radio. He has a jazz program in the evenings, and he happens to be a good cook too, besides being a drummer. So his jazz program will be a trio. He has a bass and a piano accompanying him. And our final concert is joyous and happy klezmer music. And if people don't know anything about klezmer music, they should make a point to come to that concert, which is on August the 20th. And it includes clarinets and saxophones and stringed instruments, as well as a singer.
So I'm not really, is that sort of like Eastern European Jewish folk music?
It's Eastern European music that almost died out, and now it's being brought back in the United States. And it's Yiddish and
Happy,
German.
upbeat.
It's very upbeat music, although there are some sad ballads including too. So we hope people will enjoy these concerts, and they can find out more by going to the website, which is jewishmuseumportsmouth.org, and I hope you will put that on the bottom of the screen here.
Okay.
There they can find more information about the museum, about our upcoming programs, and about this concert series.
Can they buy tickets for the entire series, or can they buy just for one concert at a time?
They can buy single tickets for each concert. They are $30 a piece. If they would like to buy the whole series, they get a discount. The whole series of 4 concerts, instead of being 120, is only 100. So we hope to sell more subscriptions than single tickets, but because each concert is such a different flavor, we expect that the audiences may vary a little.
All right.
Between.
And of course, the museum is a beautifully restored Orthodox synagogue that was built, I believe, in the early 19 teens.
It was finished in about 1920, so now it's over 100 years old. And it has been restored and it's air conditioned now. So in the middle of the summer, it's a great place to come on a Wednesday night when not too much else is going on, even in Portsmouth.
And it's a sort of an intimate setting. It's not a huge synagogue, so I know the acoustics in there because are probably fantastic.
They are, and we have a wonderful Steinway piano that has been gotten through a grant that we received when we first opened the building.
Oh, all right, this sounds fantastic. It sounds wonderful. So,
it is wonderful Wednesdays, so I hope to see you there.
Well, thanks so much. And thanks for coming and telling us all about it, Rick.
You're welcome.
On any Saturday morning this summer, the Portsmouth Old Town Farmers Market is the place to be. Next up are Jim and Kathy Cullen to tell us what you'll find there. Kathy, Jim, welcome to Portsmouth Now.
Hi, Rob. Thanks for having us.
If there's any place to be on a Saturday morning this summer, it's the Farmers Market in Old Town. So tell us what we can find there.
Well, we're in full swing with our summer produce. All the produce vendors are fully stocked with the seasonal fruits coming out, the vegetables. We have all our Russell seafood, local seafood, fresh. Our beef vendors, our poultry and beef vendors, lots of eggs, honey, jams, you name it, anything you need.
Even duck.
Duck eggs.
Even duck eggs? Duck eggs,
yep.
yeah, duck products, which is a real surprise in this area that someone's a duck farmer, but yeah, we've got it.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. Plus all our baked good vendors are back in full swing. We have a new gluten-free baker, gluten-free vegan. She's just doing that. So she has her own little niche and she's already selling out early, so.
All right, and there are things like arts, crafts, and
Yes.
things like that also?
We have lots of artisans, jewelry, candles, soaps. You can go down the gamut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's
Even,
homemade, homegrown, handmade.
Artists, sculptures, metal works. I can't even think, but you name it, we have it.
There's a guy
Young
hammering
artists.
copper there on the side. You know, there's a woman with a torch making things. There's people doing permanent jewelry.
Glassworks.
Yeah, there's really cool stuff.
Well, it is real. I mean, it has really grown in recent years.
Yep.
You know, it started out just around the courthouse
Yes.
down right there at the intersection of High Street and Court Street. But you
Yeah, we
a
cover
lot more vendors now.
5 streets now.
Yeah.
Wow.
On the sidewalks.
Yeah.
And we have over probably between 50 and 60 vendors on a good day. Sometimes we're upwards of 70 to 72.
I would assume this is one of the larger farmer markets around here.
I believe so,
Yes.
yes. We have a good announcement to make. Kova, the magazine that comes out quarterly.
Yes.
We are the People's Choice Farmers Market for the area.
Fantastic.
So we'll be advertising that.
That is fantastic. Congratulations. Well, I don't doubt that. I've been to some of the others, and it's just, you know, and the fact of where it's located, the history all around.
And
it's
we
just,
offer a lot more. We have we have costume characters. We have a lot of kids activities. So balloon makers, twisty balloon
Fairy
art,
hair.
fairy hair, face painting. So kids come down, they can do all of that kind of
musical
stuff.
instrument lessons. I mean,
Yes.
there's all sorts
There's
of
always
activities.
live music, whether it's a busker or somebody setting up in the courtyard.
Yep.
so yeah, it really is like a party feel.
Right, and we're really lucky. We've been traveling recently to some other cities just to try to steal ideas and see what they're doing and stuff like that. And the one thing we realized, probably because of the rail line that used to run down the center of High Street way back in the day, we have really wide sidewalks. We have big spacing between the buildings from either side of High Street. So we have really wide sidewalks both there and on Court Street. They're 20 feet wide, which is unheard of when you go to most cities. You have you know, maybe an 8-foot sidewalk if you're lucky. So we're able to have all these activities on these big sidewalks, and it's like a street festival, and there's plenty of room for people to walk. It's wheelchair friendly. We set aside an extra 6 wheelchair spaces for folks on Saturday mornings right behind the Arts and Cultural Center. And we've got volunteers out there who will help people if they need help unloading or moving around with their wheelchairs and stuff like that. So the point is, everybody can come be a part of this. It's really cool.
And you know, speaking of the agricultural center, in the courtyard there there are chairs and tables out there all the time, so there's a place to sit.
Exactly. So people
grab
get-
something to eat, sit there and eat.
Yep.
and
People
listen to
get food,
music.
they sit there and they just enjoy the atmosphere under those historic old oak trees and on the bricks and stuff like that. And we have yoga in the morning starting at 9 o'clock every Saturday morning. So they're in the courtyard, they set up under those old trees and they do yoga, and then the classic cars start rolling in also at 9 o'clock in the morning. And we're getting up to 30 classic cars now, all lined up down Court Street. on both sides, down in front of the still and stuff like that. And that's a really cool experience because people who are coming to, let's just say people who would not normally go to a car show are suddenly running into these old cars from their youth. And so you'll see people like, that's a 57 Chevy, I went to my prom in that, that kind of thing. And they really, it's a unique way of having people interact where they normally would never have met.
You mentioned people who wouldn't necessarily go to a car show. People that wouldn't necessarily go to a farmer's market,
Yep.
I think will be just entranced by this. There's so much to do.
Yeah.
And it really,
So the men can hang out and chat car stuff.
yeah.
And the women can do their shopping or socializing. And then, of course, they get a discount list. So all the restaurants in the area and some stores give out discounts to car people.
Yeah.
So they can come down, leave their car there, go eat lunch at Beer Garden or Barron's with a code word for the...
That's true, we've got discounts, yeah. Or it could be reversed. We have women who have really nice cars and sometimes their husbands go and shop. That's right. And so one of the things we've done, we've tied in with all the local, we've offered to, and we've picked up probably over 20 local businesses that if you come in with a classic car, we hand you a sheet with a list of different discounts, whether it's 10% off at this restaurant, 20% off at this craft store, whatever it may be. And so it's almost like a scavenger hunt. It's got a little password, and so it says if you go into the art store, if you go into wherever it may be going, you say this password, it means you're here with a classic car. And that takes the crews, the kids, the grandkids who come with the classic car folks, it takes them and starts spreading them up and down High Street and up and down Court Street to go visit the other businesses, which is really neat.
That is great. Yeah, this for those who are maybe never been to Old Town or to Portsmouth, this is a great daycation for a Saturday. Come here on Saturday morning, go to the farmer's market, and let me warn you, you're here every Saturday. This isn't every other Saturday or once a month.
We only close in January.
Yeah, so you're here through Christmas right
Yes.
now.
Yeah, through Christmas Eve. I'm not sure what the exact date is, but the Saturday prior to Christmas Eve will be our last one, and we're there every single Saturday because this is an important food source for the folks who live in Old Town. We have a lot of
I
mobility
know a lot of
challenged
people who
people.
do all the grocery shopping at the farmer's market.
Exactly.
Rain or shine, if you need to get your bread, eggs, fruit, you can come down.
The only
It's a nasty
exception,
day.
the only exception is if it's dangerous weather, we will postpone to Sunday, but it's very, very rare.
Yeah.
If it's raining, we're still going to be out there. If it's lightning, if it's like a hurricane, yeah, we'll push to Sunday.
Okay. And what are the hours again on Saturday?
9 to 2 until October.
Yeah.
And we open at 10.
Then we shift to 10 o'clock.
Fantastic. All right. Well, thanks for coming here and telling us all about it. People really should check this out.
Oh, yeah.
And before we close, I want to congratulate you both. You have both been chosen the first citizens of Portsmouth
Yes.
this year.
Yes.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
I
Thank
know
you. It's a big honor.
you're not from Portsmouth.
No,
Not originally,
But
but we sure
since
here
you've
now.
been here, you have really done so
we
much
really
for the
feel
city.
like we're from.
This is,
Well,
this
you're Portsmouth as far as I'm
Thank you.
concerned.
It felt like home the second we came down High Street. We said, "Wow, this just feels like, feels like home to us." It's a military city. It's got people from all over the world forming into this melting pot. Because the military brings so many people in, and the different industries bring so many people in. So when we got here, we were like, we're never going to be the new folks because there's new folks every day coming in here, and it's a great place.
Well, we're glad to have you here, and thank you for all you've done for the city, and thank you you're the manager of the farmer's market.
Yes.
Well,
Thank
thank
you.
you both for
Great stuff.
being here today. Congratulations
Thanks,
again.
Rob.
you.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Portsmouth Now, right after these messages.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Everyone deserves to live a full life. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Is it okay to call you Mom? Of course you can.
Welcome back to this July 2025 episode of Portsmouth Now. Did you know that Old Town Portsmouth has the largest collection of historic homes north of Charleston, South Carolina, and south of Alexandria, Virginia? And there's no better way to learn about the history of Old Town Portsmouth than on a walking tour sponsored by History Alive. Our next guests, direct from the 17th century, are John and Blondine Braidfoot. Blondine, welcome back to Portsmouth Now.
Oh, good morning. It's so nice to see you again. It's been a wee bit, hasn't it?
It has been a wee bit.
Well, I brought my husband with me this time.
Okay, and your name is?
My name is John Braidfoot. It's a pleasure to see you.
Good.
Yes, Reverend John Braidfoot, second rector of Portsmouth Parish, who left me here in a town full of Tories when he went to join the Patriot cause.
Well, dear, that's a bit of an exaggeration, Rob. You see, there was a Tory element here in Portsmouth, for certain, of course, Andrew's ruled, but there was also a very large Patriot element as well, myself included. When Lord Dunmore occupied our city, I thought he was doing some very, very scandalous things about, so I joined the Patriot Army and served as a chaplain under George Washington.
Okay, wow. That's, and
He was at Valley Forge.
Yes, I was. I was at Valley Forge. I didn't wear my kilt though; it was far too cold.
I would think so. Yeah.
Yes, it was a dreadful time, and then I came back to the church, and Blondine and I lived a happy life for some time. I won't tell you how I died. You'll have to wait to go on the tour for that.
Okay, so you do give tours, the two of you do.
Oh
here
yes,
in Old Town.
as of late, we've been given these lovely 3-hour shore excursions to the dear folks from American Cruise Lines. They've really been enjoying it. And we include a couple interior tours, the Hill House Museum, and also Trinity Church, which was Portsmouth Parish when we were alive.
Okay, and that was the church that you were.
That was the church where I worked before the war, and then again after the war when I returned. Yes.
Okay, all right. And what cruise line is this?
American Cruise Lines.
So you have people from all over the world, all over the country coming here to Old Town.
Oh
to learn
yes.
about our history.
Oh yes. And the folks along the street are so welcoming, and they really enjoyed it. In fact, that we're told it's one of their most popular tours.
That is fantastic.
Right. So, and it's a river cruise. So they go down to Yorktown and Williamsburg and that. So I suppose it's high praise when they tell us that we're one of the most popular tours.
Because you're up against Williamsburg.
Yes.
We are,
Yes. Well, you know, all of our homes are original. They've not been rebuilt. They've only been restored. And so we have the largest collection of standing period architecture between Alexandria and Charleston.
Wow.
And that includes the historic triangle.
That is fantastic.
Right.
Yeah, that's great. Now, you all have been doing these tours for a number of years, not just the cruise tours, but History Alive, the organization that has brought you here from the 18th century.
We started the tours in 2019. We've been doing the cruise ship tours for about 3 years now. And as Blondine said, very popular. We do about 25 guests per tour. And the guests are very excited to see the historic homes, see the living history that's going on with the parks amongst the homes, then see the inside of Hill House and then the inside of Trinity Church. They really are very pleased with it. And we're very pleased to provide that tour to them.
And as a native of Portsmouth, I'm going to go on a ledge and say that probably they are seeing a lot more Portsmouth than many natives currently living in Portsmouth have seen.
And you know, the wonderful thing is you don't have to go on a cruise ship tour to enjoy our tours or to even enjoy Hill House. Hill House Museum is open every Wednesday and Sunday all the way till the end of December and from 12 o'clock in the afternoon till 3. So you don't have to go on a cruise ship tour to visit them. And Trinity Church, if you want to see the inside of Trinity Church, well, just show up for service at 10:30 on Sunday morning.
And you'll get to hear the largest functioning pipe organ in all of Hampton Roads.
Okay.
It is really quite remarkable.
Well, I've been to some organ concerts there over the years.
It is wonderful, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It really is. Yes.
So we're only doing private tours right now, but we have 3 tours to choose from.
Okay.
We have our Homes and History tour, which is basically the one we do for the cruise ships, and then we have our Heroes and History tour, which tells about the African American experience here in Portsmouth, and then our newest is Spirits of Old Town, which will wet your whistle for our of course, grand event that the Civic League puts on every year, right before the Friday before Halloween, the Old Town Ghost Walk. So it's not as grand as that, but it'll wet your whistle.
Okay, so 3 tours now, and then you don't have to be on a cruise ship with these tours. You can sign up to go on these.
Yeah,
you can book your family or friends.
Oh yes, I have to, and actually, folks, especially during the summer when a lot of people have family in because of summer vacation for the kids, we get a lot of folks who book that as a way to show out off their home, the town where they live.
Right.
You know.
So if people say that they want to book a tour for their family or friends, how would they do that?
Well, they would just call us or email us.
Okay. Is there a website?
Oh yes, or and you can also go to www.historyalive.info. You know, I'm not really very savvy with all this.
But they can Google History Live
technology
and find it.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. They can call the Welcome Center. You know, so
no, that's true.
Yeah, they're pretty familiar with us. They have our card and everything. So yes, and we hope a lot of folks will take advantage this summer. And then, of course, spring and fall are my favorite times to do the walk-in tours. Yeah, because it's nice and the weather's
a bit more moderate.
Right.
So you're here throughout the year doing tours.
Oh yes, throughout the year, and we even do a little Christmas tour where we carol and things. So anybody that wants to do that around Christmas,
that would be great for people if they have family coming in for Christmas.
And speaking of the holidays and such, we've got a holiday coming up with Hill House Museum in October 25th. They celebrate 200 years. 200 years. And so make sure you get them on your show to tell you about it.
I will. I certainly will. And thank you for being on our show today and telling us about History Life and the tours that are
It's always
available.
a pleasure to see you.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you here. If you're a visitor to Portsmouth or a Portsmouth resident and you want to find out all there is to see and do here, you should drop into the Portsmouth Welcome Center on High Street. Here's Bettina Chapman. Tell us what you'll find there. Well, Bettina, welcome to Portsmouth Now.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And you're here to tell us about the Portsmouth Welcome Center.
Yes, I am. It's located at 206 High Street, right across from the Children's Museum. The Welcome Center is the place to be. It's the start of everything. If you're just coming into town, if you need directions, if you need brochures of what to do, if you need to find out about dining, even if you need to catch an Uber, you can come to the Welcome Center and we'll help you with that.
Fantastic. So museums,
Yes.
tour everything?
Yes, we have 7 different museums. I don't know if I can name them all, but we have the Portsmouth Colored Community Library and Museum. We have the Children's Museum. We have the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard, the Lightship. We have the Hill House, as well as the Jewish Museum as well. And so we have brochures and information on all of those. All of them have different times, and so be sure to check with us, and we'll be glad to give you the information that you need.
Okay, and if I'm coming here, say on a weekday, and I've never been here, I want to have lunch someplace. What would you recommend?
If you just want a quick sandwich, I would recommend the coffee shop. When you go in there, you're not a stranger, and they call you a friend. Everybody treats you like a friend in Portsmouth. But I would also recommend Thai Basil as well. If you want some ice cream, the ELG location is a good place to get some ice cream as well.
Okay, and if you want a bigger meal maybe in the evenings?
Roger Brown's. You can get some entertainment, listen to some live music, and get a good meal as well.
Okay, how about like breweries, wineries, or things like that if I want to get a beer someplace?
I would say the Beer Garden is a good place. They have over, I believe, 200 different types of beers.
And that's the only German restaurant in Hampton Roads, I
Yes,
think.
it is. Yep, yep.
That's
you got
great.
it.
All right, and something for the kids down here.
Children's Museum. But what I've been seeing is that a lot of parents will take their children to the Lightship as well.
Okay.
They love to show their children the Lightship and what it meant and the history of it as well. And even just walking around, taking different photos with the different murals and wings that are throughout the city.
Yeah, there's all this art down here
Yes.
too. And if people just wanted to, they've heard about Old Town, they have this historic home, but they just want to take a walk.
We have historic walking tours. You can come in and get a Path of History guide, and it'll show you all the historic sites, the houses, the different landmarks that you can take pictures with, and that you can read about as well.
Okay, since you're working on them, do you get people from other parts of the country?
Absolutely. We get people that are sailing all along the Atlantic, people that have sailed from Las Vegas, people that have sailed from Europe, and they are so enthralled about this little town. They love this old town.
That's fantastic. Now, what hours are you open and what days are you open?
We're open every day.
Okay.
So Sundays through Fridays, we're open 9 to 4.
Okay.
And then on Saturdays, we're open 9 to 5.
Okay, you don't have to be a tourist. I mean, if you
No.
lived in Portsmouth and haven't just really explored the city in years, you want to find out what's happening, this is still a great place to come.
Absolutely, this is the place. You never know who you're going to bump into. You could bump into the mayor, the police chief, a longstanding Portsmouth resident, and they all have a unique story to tell. So,
okay, and you're right here on High Street, across from the Children's Museum, in this beautiful facility.
Yes.
And it's also the police department, I believe, is back
Yes,
of the
the police administration. They do a lot of training there.
It's a really classy looking building for our police department.
It is a lot of.
And you have a beautiful shop in there.
Yes, we do.
The things from Portsmouth, books from Portsmouth writers,
Right.
sweatshirts, things.
All different types of souvenirs, postcards, magnets, anything that you need to take back with you.
Historic books for kids. Some
Absolutely,
Portsmouth history, American
toys,
history.
yes.
Well, fantastic. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And keep up the good work.
I appreciate it.
And really, if you're coming into Portsmouth for the first time, or even if you're a native and you haven't been to Old Town maybe in decades or years, and you want to find out what's happening, please drop into the Portsmouth Welcome Center on High Street. Our final guest today is Sarah Cunningham, who will tell us about the Portsmouth Master Gardeners Association. Sarah, welcome to Portsmouth Now.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about the Master Gardeners. What is this? What's the name of the organization? And
Yeah, well, the
it.
Portsmouth Master Gardeners have been here in Portsmouth for 25 years.
Oh.
It's a statewide program, Master Gardening, and it's held by Virginia Tech. They oversee all of the different extension offices, and we have one here in Portsmouth at 105 Utah Street. Every county or city has a Master Gardening program, and it really depends whether it's geared towards agriculture or towards gardening, like horticulture, vegetables in the backyard. And,
I
and
would assume
flowers.
that's more Portsmouth since we're
Oh,
suburbs.
for sure. Flowers and vegetables are right up our alley.
Yeah. So what types of programs do you have going on? What do you offer?
Well, we do quite a lot. First, I want to invite everyone to 105 Utah Street to see our display gardens. We've got water gardens that help when you have too much wetness in your yard. We have pollinator gardens, wildlife gardens, shade gardens, so people can really find inspiration. And that's technically a park. So it's open from dawn till dusk, and you can see the various plants that grow great here in Portsmouth.
And this is what was once the Kingman Center, the Kingman Heights Recreation Center is now your office.
That's true. It's been through a lot of iterations within Portsmouth history.
And it's beautiful now. I drove by there the other day. It's like it just pops.
It's fantastic. We have a greenhouse there, and we hold spring plant sales all the time. We have a plant sale in the fall as well. But throughout the year, it's just gorgeous. Now, if we are also available online, if you have garden problems, you can go to Portsmouth, our tent at the farmers market every Saturday.
Okay.
And then we also have 24 hours, our email helpline at pmgv.org. That helps people. They can send in pictures, just type a little email letting us know what their problems are.
So if you're growing cucumbers in your backyard, you're having an issue.
If you've got powdery mildew or a bug you don't recognize and you're worried about it, if your tree is starting to die or things are wilting and you don't understand why, you can just send pictures and someone can call you, or you can even come in person to the farmer's market.
What about if you have potted plants?
We have a solution for just about everything. And luckily, if we don't, we know where to research through the Virginia Tech Agricultural Program to get you the right answer. So you're not just having to Google, what is this bug?
Okay, that's great. So personal help for your flower bed, for your lawn, for everything this summer.
For everything. Everything from turf to plants, vegetables, flowers, and shrubs and trees.
Okay, do you have any special events going on this summer?
Well, we do have events all year long. Coming up in the fall, we have our plant sale. But one thing we're also gearing up for is our next year's intern program. If you love gardening and you want to learn more, it's like a college course. It's virtually free. And residents of Portsmouth can become Portsmouth Master Gardeners through the intern training program.
Regardless of their age?
Yes.
Like you see college course, so this is for anybody.
It is really a way to just open up your mind to all aspects of gardening, from soil to insects, from shrubs and turf, it's comprehensive, and I did feel like I was going back to college when I got sat
So if
down in
you're a
that
serious
chair.
gardener, this is something really to take advantage
You
of.
would love it, and it's just such an inspiring group. We do a lot of things throughout the year, and every week at the farmers market here in Portsmouth downtown.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for coming out to tell us about it. And give us the website one more time.
Well, our website is www.pmgv.org. That stands for Portsmouth Master Gardeners Virginia.org.
Okay, and is there a phone number too that people can call?
Well, we don't have, we're a volunteer organization,
Okay.
so we don't man the phones all the time, but you can find us on social media. And that's a great way to find out about library talks that happen every month.
Okay.
We have just a wealth of information.
So you do have a Facebook page. and all
We
that.
sure do.
Okay.
We're on social media. We are there 24/7.
All right. Well, thank you so much for stopping by today, Sarah, and we will have you back to find out as things happen throughout the year.
I love it. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. That's it for our show today. If you'd like to find out more about any of the events featured on today's show or any other events taking place in Portsmouth, simply log on to www.portsvacation.com and then come to Portsmouth, where if you give us a day, we'll give you a vacation. I'm Rob Lauer. Join me in August for another episode of Portsmouth Now.